I'm already dying. It's a good time to be alive. All right, Twitch, load me up, please. There we go.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam us up, Scotty. Hashtag comrade. Oh god, and it already starts.
Da Scotty.
Okay, let me pull the extra Twitch page up really quickly.
What's that?
We can edit out all this.
What's that extra Twitch page?
Oh, it's just so that I can view how many viewers we have.
Oh, it's like the stats.
Yeah, basically.
Stats for nerds, kind of.
Hashtag stats for Twitch streamers. There you go.
Twitch streaming is like an occupation. That's
it literally is. My since it started work, my average viewership has gone from like, what was it? Like 5 almost to like basically 2.5. Okay, we're good to go. We got 3 people watching us right now. This is fantastic. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much for coming out. Episode 5 of the 501st podcast. I'm excited to be here. We are joining us again. Our boy Luca. Okay, how you doing, Luca? How's life?
Good evening. I'm good, thanks. Just living.
I'm just gonna quickly check. I'm gonna send something in the chat if someone wants to. Back. Can you hear us? Just want to make sure you guys can actually like hear what we're saying. Unlike a couple of times ago where it was like half the podcast was just silence.
We don't talk about that one.
Look, well, clearly we didn't talk through that one anyways.
Haha, it's so funny.
Ingenious. Hold on, let me see if I can put the volume up.
Do you want me to do it on the mic?
Hold on. Okay, yeah, we should be good. Yes? Okay, yeah, we should be good. Okay, there, we're fine. We're fine. Don't mind me, I'm just typing away. Okay, so let's jump into this. So we have 2 episodes of Bad Batch to review. Luca, do you want to start us off with 2 weeks ago? What the summary was for the last 2 weeks of episodes, whatever it was?
Okay, sure.
I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago, to be honest. No, it wasn't even 2 weeks ago. It was like 2 days ago that we and you watched it.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago for them.
Yeah, but 2 days ago for us. I don't even remember
And you
what
still
happened.
can't remember?
Look, my memory, I've actually concerned. My memory is getting worse and worse as I get older.
What a surprise. It's not like that's a... Anyways, it doesn't matter.
All
yeah.
is good.
Yeah, all I can start the summary, I guess. You can
Sure.
just kind of... okay, so... Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Yep. Oh, what? Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Oh yeah, so this is episode 13, I think?
Yeah, because today's was 14.
It's called Infested.
Bum, bum, bum!
Yeah.
We're freaking comedians,
It
guys.
should be called this season is infested with filler episodes. That's
so much.
What it should be called.
This season has more filler than a Naruto story arc.
Sure.
There's a lot of filler. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of filler. All right.
Okay.
All right. Take it away, Luca.
I feel like that's the status quo for like any anime. What anime doesn't have filler?
Whoa! Let's not drag the good name of anime through the mud. All right.
The good name.
The good name of anime through the mud.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So it's called Infested. So the boys, the BBs, the Bad Batch. They come back home to the what was the planet called again?
To even.
Whatever.
We're off to a great start.
I don't know what the planet was called. I don't remember.
Jeez.
But yeah, whatever. Their base of operations where Sid is.
Yep.
And they land back there, and they're like, "Yo, let's go pay our favorite semi-legal establishment a visit."
Oh God.
And it turns out that her like bar thing has been redistributed to
Look, it's not theft. It's simply a redistribution of resources.
Yeah, so this crime dude, what's his name?
Roland or something like that?
Yeah, Roland Durand. I think
Duran or
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. We're fine.
Yeah, he's like,
look, we're giving you guys the Spark Notes version.
He's
right?
like, hippity hoppity, your bar is not my property. Yeah, he took it over.
Nothing like a good confiscation joke.
So the bad boys. Sorry.
What you gonna do when they come for you, bad batch?
I'm so bad at this. Okay, you're doing the next summary.
It's fine. It's fine. We just watched it, so I won't care that.
Yeah. So the Bad Batch, they show up and they're immediately, greeted with like, no. They walk into like the main office, and the enforcer guys kind of pull their guns out and they're like, "Who are you?" And then the Bad Batch is like, "You're not Sid. You're some other dude."
Yeah. And he has horns.
Yeah.
One could say he's a horny boy.
Yeah, and so they go back and they see Sid, and she's like, "You guys want to help me take back my bar?" Or, And
the Bad Batch goes, "Do we have a choice?" She's like, "Not really."
I feel like the trend with all these episodes is like, they try so hard to insert some kind of like ambiguity into it, because they're always like, "Oh, we can't do that. We have a job," or like, "We gotta lay low," or something. And then Omega or someone else is always like, "No, it's for friend." It is like an anime,
It's for, like, friendship, boys. Friendship all the way.
Like, Sid's our friend. We gotta help her.
We gotta stand by.
Yeah, she may be a two-timing, no good.
Borderline criminal.
Yeah.
Blackmailing us, but it's all good.
But friendship is important.
Yeah.
So that's what matters. So yeah, they're like, "Yeah, we'll help you, but we won't do like a normal like takeover. We won't just like storm it in. We're gonna do the sneaky route.
We're gonna do some covert special ops."
Yeah, so it turns out there's a drug deal going down in her office. It's true.
Disney, everyone.
There's a drug deal going down in her office, and they're like, "If we steal the drugs, then whoever's buying the drugs will get mad at Mr. Durand, and they'll kill him."
Yep.
And we'll just move back in.
Exactly.
Flawless plan, right?
Flawless plan.
Except they forgot that they built the bar on top of the Bat Cave.
It's literally... See, we have an awkward time because it's literally a bat cave.
Yeah.
It's literally built over top of these ginormous caves, and they have to basically get on these little...
They have like these old-timey like mining carts that
they
like push.
And they have to stay super silent the entire time.
Yeah.
And of course, Record being Record, smacks his head off a couple of things, drops something.
Drops the flashlight.
Yeah. Record, you had one job. Don't drop the flashlight. Don't drop the soap.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty like uneventful like going there though. They're fine,
once they get the spice, it's all good.
Yeah, and then on the way back,
that's when shit gets off and popping.
Yeah, so on the way back, or no, wait, I missed the biggest part, the best part of the episode. They stole his pet. His pet's name is Ruby.
Oh god, stupid thing.
His pet's name is Ruby. She's like I don't know what the species is in the universe, but it's like an armadillo cat.
Yeah.
It's like a carmadillo.
Carmadillo.
I don't know.
Sounds like caramel.
Yeah.
It must be delicious.
Yeah, so they steal Ruby the pet, and that's like the distraction while they're stealing the spice. And yeah, they get the pet back, or the bad guys do, and they're like, "Hey, someone stole these drugs." And then
we should probably get those back.
I guess he just knew that there was a secret like
bat cave
manhole in his office or whatever.
Oh yeah, under the carpet is like a manhole.
I feel like if you move in, you could like kind of like sweep the
first thing
room.
you check everything.
Like, that's not suspicious at all. I wonder where that leads.
There's a trap door under my carpet.
Yeah,
should better seal that off.
It's not like the previous owner was like some kind of smuggler or something.
It's fine.
Yeah, so they chase him down there, and they start. To quote Danny DeVito, so anyways, I started blasting. And yeah, they kind of like go to town. They just blast it up, and they end up dropping the drugs.
Yep.
Down the Batcave.
Yep.
And they escape, but they don't escape because Omega. No, what was it again?
They have to go back for the spice.
No, but they captured someone, I think.
Yeah. Probably. Didn't they? No. Didn't they capture the Roland dude or whatever with Omega? And Omega basically tries to like befriend him or whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, I think they took Omega as
She tries to go full friendship or whatever it is.
Yeah, they took her as like collateral.
Yeah.
I think, but before that, anyway, it doesn't matter. Basically, the Pikes are back. They're like the
They look real Egyptian.
The snaky boys that Maul partners with in the Clone Wars. So if you guys seen the Clone Wars, they're like the guys who they have a really weird way of speaking. They're like, I speak like this.
I speak like this, and then you will. Can you stop PS4, please? I swear to God, go. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So the Pikes are like, get us our drugs back,
or we'll start killing people,
or you guys gonna die. So like, okay, yeah, we'll get them back. So they have to go back to the Batcave. And then they
collect all the spice.
Yeah, and they almost get it, but they end up stirring the bugs again. Oh yeah, the Batcave is inhabited by bugs, by the way.
It's infested.
Yeah, I forget what the bugs are called.
I don't know what they're called, but they look like giant moths or like giant bees / moths.
Yeah, they're like big moths or like big flies, kind of.
Big flies,
something around that. Yeah, anyway.
But it's weird because there's like webbing everywhere, but then they don't have spiders. It's real because the way that it's set up, it's like this looks like a spider's nest.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, actually, it's not going to be a spider's nest.
No, but
it's just going to be.
They already did that with the Mandalorian, though, so you can't have like.
Yeah, but
they
then
can't
we
have
know
too many
that Star
spiders
Wars
per
has
capita.
Like a spider
fetish.
fetish.
You know. No, Star Wars has a loss of limb fetish.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's why it's another reason why the sequels aren't canon. No one lost a limb.
Exactly. Anyways, yeah, long story short, they get the spice back. They deliver it to the Pikes.
Yep.
Omega befriends the
Roland dude.
Durand guy.
Yep.
And then she's like, "Oh, maybe you're not such a bad guy after all."
No, he's still pretty awful.
Yeah, because
Omega,
she's like,
you foolish child.
She's really naive, honestly.
And Australian, so it makes it worse.
Yeah, and then the coolest part of the episode, they could have like Game of Thrones did. They were about to kill Durant because he let the spice get away.
Yep.
They're like, we can't let this happen. So he pulls out the knife and he just cuts off his horn.
Yes.
Which I mean, yeah, whatever. I get it. It's a children's show, but I would have liked to see some like
decapitation.
That would have been yeah, that would have been kind of metal, I guess.
It would have been fun.
Yeah.
Look, Disney knew what they were buying into when they bought the Star Wars product. Here we've got decapitations of Dooku. We got, one blasting a man's chest open. It's a whole thing.
The clone trooper tries to kill Yoda, gets decapitated.
Yes,
too.
he does, and stabbed right through the chest.
Yeah. So that's basically the episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an episode. It's there.
I like what they were doing with the whole like horror approach to it. I feel like they kind of wanted to make it more like a horror-ish episode. When they're going through the cave, all quiet, and they're like, "Don't drop anything," And
then they didn't do anything with it. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that
the bugs attacked them, but like realistically, like there was no suspense to it. It was just more like a hush hush go 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 kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
the card chase was kind of fun. When they were chasing them in the carts, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I feel like just in general, the episode itself doesn't really have any impact on the
plot. There's no
because they end the episode. Sid gets her bar back.
That's about it.
That guy loses his horn.
Right.
And then that's kind of it. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really like, hey, we need you to hit the bar. We hit the bar and credits. Like that's really about it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to it.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad.
It's a fine episode. It just seemed kind of empty.
Yeah. It was pretty much a filler episode, I'd say.
And here's my issue. It seems like season, although I don't know if we're getting a season 2 or not, but season 1 of The Bad Batch just kind of seems like 4 plot episodes and everything else is filler.
Yeah, and I don't know if they had like some kind of like checklist or like some kind of goal to meet as far as like having 16 episodes, because I feel like because Mando had 8, right?
Yep.
It had 8 per season, and that's like half of this show. So I feel like if they had, I'm not complaining that like, obviously I'll take any Star Wars content
we can get our hands on.
It's just, I feel like if they had fewer episodes, they'd have to make it more interesting, or like, I just wish they would like kind of spread out the episodes more.
Yeah.
Like have like an interesting beginning and then have the filler like in the middle, but it kind of feels like there's like plot episode then filler.
Or like plot, then like 5 episodes of filler, and then plot again. It's like, oh jeez, come on. You're making us wait till like 5 episodes of filler. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, though. Okay, there's a time and place for fetch quests, and there's a time and place to put filler in. But when it's every single episode, and you have to wait like over a month sometimes for another plot episode, like I mean, just look at the. Actually, I don't want to get into that now. I'll get into that afterward.
Okay.
Because I was going to say, talking about this week's episode and connection and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, so I guess I'll start talking about the next episode, I guess, because the last one was pretty much just like a filler or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to.
No, yeah. If you want, you can.
It's just because this week's episode has like a lot more like more plot-ish stuff. Okay, so this episode 15. It's 14, I can't speak English. 14, and it's basically called War Mantle, and it actually seems pretty dope. So basically, the Bad Batch are flying through space, and suddenly they get a transmission from who else but our good friend Captain Rex, who's basically dressed in an Assassin's Creed uniform.
He's got his hands in like all the jars at this point.
He's
like,
got one in Ahsoka's, he's got one over here, he's got his own thing going on that desert planet or whatever. It's all good. It's a good time. Anyway, so Rex sends them to this planet. I can't remember what it's called. Drago?
I think it's Daru.
Daru? Daru. We're going to go Daru.
Is it Dura?
I think so. You know what? Let me just Google it. We literally just watched this and already we're forgetting this.
It's either Dura or Dar. I think it's Daru.
Oh, God. What happened?
It can't be Dora.
It's definitely not Dora. I can tell you that right now.
It's,
Daro, Daro.
Oh, Daro. Okay, yeah, Daro.
Anyway, so they go to Daro after deciding that helping out a friend is more important than feeding people.
Yeah, they're like, yo, if we don't have money, we can't buy food, and they
like, sided against food. This is a crime against humanity.
But my friendship.
But my friends.
But hey, guys, listen. I know you like food. I know you like survival.
But how about friendship?
But how about I interest you in someone that we've never even met before? He's just an acquaintance of Rex.
And all they had to do was like dump off the stuff that they had, collect their money, and then fly back.
Yeah, if this guy... No,
you have hyperspace travel!
No, but like, I don't understand. Like, if this guy's like imprisoned, right? He's not gonna go anywhere. You can finish your job for Sid.
He's not going anywhere.
And then do the mission. But they're like, no, we got to do it now. You know, like right now. Like, why does she even hire them anymore? I feel like they're the most what's the word?
Unreliable?
Yeah. They're literally like any player who's ever played an RPG game, and like, they go to this new town, they see all the exclamation marks above people's heads, and they're like, ooh, what's this?
Side quests.
This new quest, right?
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the guy who is like, I will ignore all side quests. Must stick to main mission. Yeah. Anyone who's ever watched me played Outriders can attest to this. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a single side quest until the main story was already beaten.
Right.
Like, I was obsessed. I'm like, no, stay on mission. Stay on mission.
That makes sense. I don't know. I feel like it depends. If you can, like, go back and do the side quest, then it's fine. But I feel like most of the time, the way I do it is I'm more of, like, a completionist. So, like, I like doing all the side quests and then moving on.
What a shock. Luca's anal about his video games.
Look, I mean...
What a shock.
You know, you play them however you want, right?
This is a surprise to absolutely no one who knows Luca.
No,
yeah, but anyway, so they go to Daro. I've
already Daro.
This is the worst podcasting I've ever done, hands down. They go to Daro, and they're like, "Oh shit!" The Empire's literally created a giant base inside the planet. Like they've carved it. Yeah, they've carved it out of the ground or whatever. And it's an interesting thing. And they go in. However, we see some interesting, shall we say, progress in the Empire's armor.
Right.
We start seeing clone commandos and some stormtrooper-esque armor from the concept art for, was it New Hope? Pretty sure.
Yeah, well, it looks awfully familiar to the New Hope concept art.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
And I don't think that's out of the question. Especially not for Dave Filoni, because in Rebels, a lot of the stuff was
callbacks to...
Exactly, like the Vader design, the thinner lightsabers.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff, the walkers and whatever, that was all like based off the concept art.
Hell, even Rise of, as much as I hate to say this, even Rise of Skywalker pulled that off. With Palpatine's throne was the original throne for the Return of the Jedi concept art. Yeah. But then they changed it or whatever, which is fine, but still that there looks dope as shit.
Yeah, I mean, whether Palpatine himself needed to be in the movie.
Look, we're not going to get into that. That's a whole topic. But, yeah, anyways, they show up and they've got, like, clone commandos and there's some new Stormtrooper-esque armor. And, Stormtrooper, I guess just straight up Stormtroopers anymore because they're not doing clones anymore. And they get in there, they rescue the guy, and it turns out the prisoner that Rex wanted them to save was Gregor, who, for those who have watched Rebels, will remember Gregor as one of the clone troopers that Rex kind of hangs out with in the desert before before Ezra and all them come and give him a shout, get him on board, whatever.
They do that thing where they fish with the giant sandworms.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
You remember?
Hold on, what's more egregious? Space worms or space whales?
Space whales, definitely.
Wow!
Space whales are absolutely heretical. Like no question about it.
Space, but they can hyperspace jump.
That's so stupid.
No, it's not.
How is an animal, how is a living being supposed to bend the rules of time and space?
Look, that's beside the point.
It's a whale in space. It doesn't make any sense.
And the Sarlacc pit does.
No, and they do that stupid thing where it's like, oh well, maybe the first hyperspace guys took inspiration from the space whales. Like, no, that's not how technology works. You know.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a hard thing here. I'm gonna disagree. All right, this will be the first we've had on the podcast. Yeah, it's not like we haven't seen things in nature or whatever. I'm like, gee, that would be pretty dope to replicate or whatever.
No, but I find it just really stupid that like they would need to look at space whales to learn how hyperspace. We don't even know how hyperspace works, anyways.
Right. Or how maybe they had to watch the hyperspace whales do their thing to understand it. This isn't a crazy thing.
No, but like in our time and age, right? Like we have some form of space travel, right? It's just extremely slow.
Yeah.
So you would think that hyperspace travel is just like a natural progression of that. It's like, okay, yeah, we don't want to be slow, so we go fast, right?
Luca,
you go faster and faster. It's you don't need whales.
Luca, hyperspace is a natural progression.
It is. No, but like...
Well, fine. When I wake up tomorrow and we don't have hyperspace travel, I'm going to be like, Luca, what happened? I thought it's a natural process.
Faster than light travel, aside from just being like starting as like a fantasy or science fiction thing, is now more and more becoming like obviously... If you
can barely leave our own gravitational field, let alone...
I'm not saying we're close. I'm just saying it's something that we could theorize about, right? And that's us with our technological level. So in the Star Wars universe,
look, I don't think it's crazy to say that we find things in nature that we
I just think the space whales are just really stupid.
Yeah.
And the fact that they just this is Rebel spoilers anyways, but they just like Deus Ex
Machina.
Yeah,
Rebels spoilers by the way. It's in the title, but like if you didn't realize there were spoilers, well, that's too freaking bad.
No, but they just come and save the day on the fall at the end of Rebels, and they just hyperspace out of there. It's like cool. I guess
Luca now has a problem with things happening and then hyperspacing away. I'll let Han Solo and Chewbacca know that they're no longer required.
Yeah.
And they should have to walk from planet to planet.
No. Okay, well that's besides. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Whatever. Space whales are dumb.
No, they're not. Anyways, moving. No, they're not. They're 100% cool.
They're dumb, and so is the world between worlds.
Didn't they do the whole hyperspace ramming thing in Rebels or whatever it was?
I don't think so. Did they?
I feel like a whale collided with something. I don't know. Maybe I'm
wrong. No, they latched
onto
the Star Destroyers.
Maybe that was just me bouncing off the table. Anyway.
They grabbed onto the Star Destroyers.
Self-deprecating humor is great. Anyway, so they show up the Daro, they save Gregor. This whole thing started from space worms. Yeah, but basically they grab Gregor and they attempt to leave, but then there's some stormtroopers which get a hold of them, or pseudo get a hold of them. There's like they are trying to get out of the Imperial base, and they're getting fired on by stormtroopers and by clone commandos again. The clone commandos look really freaking cool. It's cool to see them kind of like in a film, or not in a film, in a TV show, which is cool. There's one particular clone commando, which I don't know if you guys have seen the episode yet, but there's a clone commando which either is the exact same skin as the Republic Commando lead guy on like the video game cover. Like I'm pretty sure it's the exact same skin.
Yeah, it's like the same yellow.
The dark gray and yellow skin on him, whatever. Which is, like, I don't know if they intentionally did that, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Be like, hey, guys, call back to Republic Commando. Me. Weird callback, but, you know, I'll take it.
Well, there are a lot of fans that like the game, me included.
Yeah.
So, like...
I've actually never played it. And
it's
like,
it's good.
It's on the PS store, so maybe I'll
You should get it. Yeah, it was recently...
I think it's like $6 or
It was recently, like, remastered or whatever for PlayStation 4. It's got, like... They haven't really changed much, but it's playable on PS4, and it's got like some different key bindings.
So
and
hey,
stuff.
maybe I'll have to stream it sometime.
I mean, you like first-person shooters, right?
Yeah, FPS are fun.
Yeah. It's a good FPS. It's a little short.
But where's the loot? No, I'm kidding.
It's an FPS, not a dumpster fire. So
wow.
Also, General Grievous is in it. I don't want to spoil anything, but
That's the spoiler. I haven't played it yet, but all right.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good game. And if you like slaughtering Geonosians, then you'll like this.
It's a good time. But yeah, anyways, they get out. Unfortunately, as they're trying to leave, Hunter and Omega come fly the ship beside the base or whatever to try to get
the exit.
Yeah, to get everyone to basically get on the ship. But Hunter is left behind. And Hunter is captured.
Well, first he survives a fall that was like...
Of like literally over 50 feet and he survives.
And he's just like, I'm okay.
We got this, it's fine.
Yeah.
So he survives and he gets captured and basically the episode ends with Crosshair showing up to Hunter's cell and are like, well, I expected the whole team, but you're just going to have to... What was it? You're going to have to do, I think it was?
Something like that. You'll have to do it.
And then the episode ends. Now, me and Luca both thought that this week's episode was the season finale.
Yeah.
We were wrong. There are 2 more episodes before the season finale. So we're hoping that in the next 2 episodes, things are going to start picking up. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get, finally, some plot episodes, which would be freaking nice. Instead of, hey, go here and do something. Or, hey, someone took my office. Go deal with this, please. Go grab some spice and drugs from Star Wars and, kidnap that real quick. Or, hey, maybe we'll go pick up another Rancor baby.
Yeah, and deliver it to Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, because it actually turned out to be Jabba's Rancor. I'm like, yes!
That's so weird, though. like, now if you watch Return of the Jedi...
Do you want an origin story for the Rancor Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, it's like...
Sounds good.
That was saved by the Bad Batch? Okay.
Okay, again, weird callback, but alright, I
didn't know I needed this, but sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that's literally this week and last week's episode.
Well, no, there's more. There's more. There's more. You missed part.
Did I miss stuff?
Yeah, the whole Kaminoan subplot.
Oh, right! No, the part of the whole episode.
Yeah, the space capitalists.
Oh my god. Anyway, I'm a terrible podcast person.
Agreed.
I have lost the right to speak. my freedom of speech card should be revoked. Anyway,
should have been revoked a long time ago, but okay.
There's been many who have tried, believe me.
There's been transgressions.
There's someone's been transgressed upon. Anyways, it turns out that the Empire is actually starting to implement a plan in which they're going to wipe out the Kaminoans.
Whoa.
Of the Kaminoans.
We don't know that yet, okay? So far, what we know is that they're taking the clones and they're going vamoose, is what they're doing.
Vamoose!
Yeah, you know.
They are leaving the world of the living. Yes, we know what vamoose means.
Yeah, they're like, the clones are our property, so we're going to take them elsewhere, kind of.
And take them elsewhere, they're going to kill them.
Are they? I don't know, because like we never really get like a concrete answer. It'd be a shame to just kind of like
kill them off.
I mean, like, you could use them for other stuff, you know?
Sure, but they're going into the art of, like, conscription, right? To, like,
right, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually, the Admiral... I'm pretty sure the Admiral literally says to Crosshair, like, they will be taken care of or whatever it is. Like, kind of like how Sidious in Revenge of the Sith, you will be taken care of.
Right.
Well, that's a pleasant thought to be in my head. But yeah, so basically, there is a scene where there's one Kaminoan who is like escorting a bunch of younglings off planet, which is kind of cool. I don't know if they're trying to do the whole callback or connection to Revenge of the Sith, but hey, it's cool anyways. The Prime Minister tells one of the main scientists on Kamino to go gather a bunch of stuff, and they're gonna flee the planet. Turns out the Empire ends up stopping that effort and basically confronts the Prime Minister about leaving the planet and how they basically betrayed the Empire by doing so. And next thing you know, they say, hey, a scientist we can use, a politician we have no use for. And then
are they really wrong?
Well, they wouldn't be wrong in the imperial sense because they're literally run by a ruthless dictator. But yes, that is correct.
I'm just saying, how valuable are politicians really?
Look, that's... Yeah, I don't disagree. But yeah, so there's literally a whole scene where there's two clone troopers that are left alone in the room with the Prime Minister, and then the doors close, so, like, we're kind of inferring that, like, someone got whacked.
Nah, they just escorted the Prime Minister out of his office. That's all that happened.
Out of his mortality. Yes, that's correct.
Look, there's no body, there's no proof.
Sounding a lot like the Chinese government, Luca, but alright. But yeah, so that was... Am I missing anything else? I don't think I'm missing anything else.
I think you covered most of it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I covered everything.
Yeah.
No, wait, I missed something.
There's one more thing.
Lucas should just do the summaries now, because I'm clearly garbage out there.
No. So, Gonki, the Gonk droid...
Gonk!
One of the deities of the Star Wars universe.
Deities, absolutely. It's not even a question. They're absolute deities.
He gets his time to shine.
Yep.
Because they plug him into the ship and they just use his power to power the shields. Yep. I guess that's how it works.
Because I remember when I was physically touched by a small. You know what? I'm not gonna. Oh, Twitch boy, we almost got canceled right there.
I feel like that's the equivalent of, like, you're driving your car and the battery dies, so you take out, like, your phone and you plug it into the car, and it's like starts working again.
The equivalent analogy would be your car breaks down, someone else gets out of their cars and just starts touching your car. It's like, sir, please leave me be.
Well, no, I feel like in that sense, you kind of want,
You want your car to be touched?
Yeah,
intimately?
because like it's broken, right? You want it to, fix.
Sure, but I don't know if I feel like kind of like some rando guy just comes in and be like, let's go. It's like, well, thank you, but like, you want to like ask next time, please? Look, cars have rights too.
Do they?
No, they don't.
Not
just like Gonk doesn't have rights.
Gonk is
go on.
No. He's anyway. Yeah, Gonky got his time to shine.
Yeah.
So
as
that
the
was
chopper.
This episode is now the best episode in the season so far.
Whoa!
Because of that.
You can't just throw my boy Chopper under the. Oh, what's your question? Under the bus. There we go. I can't speak. Okay? I'm so eloquent before we stream, but then the middle of the streams hit, I can't speak. I can't do English.
It's the nerves. Anyways, I think that's.
It really is.
I think that's everything for the episode.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Overall opinions, thoughts?
Overall, last week's episode, meh. It's there. It's just another filler episode, so
not bad.
It's there. I'm getting a little bit tired of just like filler episodes. I'm hoping the next two episodes are going to actually be decent and good. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for like filler episodes. Like if you have like 6 straight episodes of like plot, throw a filler episode or 2 in there. It's fine.
Right.
But when it's like
we gotta
6
have a beach
episodes
episode.
of a beach episode.
Yeah.
Should we go to Tatooine? Like do?
There's no water there.
A desert is half a beach.
Yeah, half a beach.
If I've learned anything from Rom, is a desert is half a beach. But yeah, it'll be nice to get some plot episodes in there.
Right.
I like the fact that Crosshair is going to basically interrogate Hunter, which could be cool. Maybe we see Crosshair flip.
No way. No way.
I kind of hope he doesn't, but hey, it's definitely a possibility.
I guess, but
I don't know, because I feel like ever since he got like half his face blown off or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of had that whole like, I'll be here, but like maybe I'm questioning some allegiances or whatever.
I guess. I don't know. You think Hunter's really gonna like turn him back?
I don't think so, and I don't think story-wise they should.
Right.
But I could see them doing it.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of be like a cop out.
You turned your back on your brothers, man.
Yeah, but it's cool because like Crosshair being part of the Bad Batch and being the bad guy, I think is an interesting twist.
Agreed.
That they don't really like. They don't really build off it a lot, you know. It's like
they don't. They haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, like Crosshair.
There's been like a couple of lines here or there, but nothing huge.
So like, they don't really like think about what it means to have like a member of the Bad Batch now be gone, right? It's like they don't really miss him. They're just kind of like, yeah, we'll just distract ourselves with side quests.
Not only do they not miss him, they openly like demean him straight up.
Yeah.
He's too far gone or whatever it is.
Yeah,
He's joined them kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So I hope he doesn't flip. I feel like that'd be kind of dumb, but
right.
This is Disney we're talking about, so
This is Disney we're talking about. This is in fact Disney we're talking about. But yeah, but that's basically the last 2 episodes. They were just kind of meh. This last one was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
like the callbacks. I like the the concept art callback to the Stormtroopers that we have. Clone Commandos, always dope to see.
See, well, if I may just interject.
No, go for it.
I don't know if this new sort of like phase of Stormtrooper armor is really necessary. Because like...
Yeah, just go to like the regular Stormtrooper.
Well, because we have like the Phase 1 clones, like the Angular Attack the Clones one, which are cool. They look cool. And then we have the Phase 2 clones, which show up in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And those helmets themselves look pretty similar to Stormtrooper helmets, right?
Yeah.
Like they have like the 2 breathing
thing on the side.
Yeah, they have like the grill and the face pattern, the eye visors and everything. So I feel like if you're looking at the 3 suits in a chronological order, it's pretty easy to see how they kind of evolve from one to the other. Yeah. So I feel like I'm not really complaining, but I don't know. I feel like even without this intermediate stage, you know, you can logically see.
Yeah.
You know, it's white armor, black undersuit, black visors. The second one and the third one's got that filtration thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can see the lineage that's being traced here. So like, it's cool.
But is it necessary?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. I feel like it might just be... This is a cynic in me talking, but like, is it there to just sell action figures? Maybe. Will I buy the action figures? Most likely. But like...
Will I walk out to Disney? Will I complain about Disney? Most certainly. Will I simultaneously give them my money? Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's just there. It's cool, I guess. It's also interesting because I'm pretty sure the clones on Kamino don't have the armor yet.
Not yet.
So I assume...
They're still using the old, the clone armor.
Yeah, so I assume that this armor is sort of like, mostly like a test bed for advancements, which I hope is what they do. I don't want them to like mass produce and mass distribute this medium
new
armor stuff. Yeah, I want it to be like, we're testing it on Daro. You know, we're keeping it localized.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we get rid of it.
Yeah, and then eventually on Daro, or however many planets they're testing it on, they'll
move into the official Stormtrooper.
Exactly, yeah. They'll make some modifications. They'll come to the Stormtrooper armor we know and love, and they'll be like, okay, now it's ready for mass production. Because I feel like that's how they do it in most militaries now, right? They have trials.
Yeah.
They go back. They're like, hey, we don't like this. Can you change this? They change this, and then they
go back out again.
Yeah. Test it again, and then they sort of mass produce it, right?
Yeah, once they figure it out.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see them popping up everywhere. But that's
they probably won't. Like I said, it's probably just like a callback of some sort, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a little nitpicky, I'll admit, but like, yeah. But overall, I did enjoy. I enjoyed both the episodes, but this one definitely more.
I just want to see some Cam and Owens get whacked. I really do.
Yeah, I'm I'm actually more interested in the Kaminoan subplot that's been going on through this whole show
Than the actual Bad Batch?
Than the actual Bad Batch.
You know what? That's not even... I don't even think that's a hot take, actually. I think that's...
No, because, like, the episodes that have had the Kaminoans, like the one where Cad Bane kidnaps Omega, and the Kaminoans send Fennec Shan to rescue her. You've got this episode here. You even had... You had, like, the seeds of what we're ultimately seeing now being sown in the beginning of the season.
Yes!
Where they're kind of like, if there's no more clones, or, like, not even
what's going to happen to us?
Yeah, it's like, if the Republic becomes the Empire, what does that mean for us, right?
Yeah.
Like... Honestly,
There's
in my
no more
opinion,
cash cow.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's been the most interesting part of the show. And like, I get that it's not at all what the show's about, but it's like,
it is to me.
How did they do so well with this part? And it's
hey
not
guys,
like
what
a
if we
focal point,
develop our subplot and completely ignore the main plot of the show?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just more compelling. Maybe I just like the Kaminoans, but it's interesting. You know, these guys are like purely motivated for profit.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of just like, oh. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I still want to see them. Sorry,
no,
I still want to see them like. I want to see a clone rebellion. That's what I want to see. I want to see them like.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. I want to see like the prime minister survive the assassination attempt, and then I want to see him like have loyalty of some of the clones.
Yep.
Like through some kind of means. I don't know what. Maybe like the young ones, or maybe like a specific genetic strand or whatever.
They would have to like basically fight off their inhibitor chips.
Yeah. I want to see that happen. I want to see like a clone v clone. On Kamino,
straight
Civil
up
War.
brawl.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Like, obviously the Empire would win in the end, but still, like...
Well, so just execute them all.
Yeah, but, like, go out guns blazing.
Exactly.
You know? I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
That'd be actually really cool.
Wouldn't it? Or maybe the Kaminoans have, like, another genetic template that they've been, like, saving for a rainy day or whatever.
It's a super clone.
It rains, like, every day on Kamino. But no, what if they had, like... some guy who like wasn't as good as Jango Fett, but he's still okay, you know, he's still not bad. And they've been cloning him in small numbers. Right. And then it's basically a last ditch effort. They release those clones.
Right.
You know, of him or her or whoever they've cloned, and they have like, you know,
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I
don't know.
I'm really looking forward to because we actually saw like more youngling clones or whatever, and I'm sure they have like more youngling clones or like pre-developed clones or whatever. I really want to see what the Empire actually ends up doing with them, because do they just keep them on until like they're no longer useful and they're old and senile, or do they just kind of show up and go, maybe we need to give a little whack, a little adios. Right, look, if Anakin could eliminate the younglings, the Empire could... They just send Vader and they're like, it's time for round 2.
Well, I understand why they have sort of enlistment for the stormtroopers. Mostly because, like, the clones are a specialist, like, army force.
Yes.
But the stormtroopers are more sort of, like, police in a sense. Like, even in the lore and stuff, if they're shock troopers, the way we see them being used in the movies is they're basically the police force of the Empire. Right?
Yes.
So you're going to need way more clones to patrol the whole galaxy, or at least the parts of the galaxy that are part of the Empire. So obviously, it's easier instead of just making more clones to just, you know, locally enlist from the planets you're on, right?
Exactly.
And then you have your stormtroopers corps, right?
Exactly.
But I think it'd just be a waste if the Empire just wasted all the clones they had, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool if, like, I don't know, maybe they have, like, specialist clone squadrons, or maybe sometimes you have clones wearing stormtrooper armor.
See, that would be really interesting. I think that they could really do a lot with that with that kind of like with that plot line or whatever. But yeah, I mean, another thing that I was thinking was like, I want to know this. Okay, we got Tarkin for the first 2 episodes, and then like we basically never saw him again. Can we just get one more Tarkin show? Just one more viewing of Tarkin? Please make this happen. Disney, do your job. You have one job. I'm not asking for Vader. I'm not asking for the Emperor. I don't know what that was. I just snorted. But like, yeah, give us just Tarkin, get in there. Do something. Like, get it done. Because I am not convinced. I am not swayed by this random Admiral dude.
My boy Admiral Rampart, but he has such a
Screw
soothing
him.
voice.
No, you know who else had a soothing voice? Tarkin.
Well, no, Tarkin had a very authoritative voice, you know.
That was Vader's voice.
I don't know. I feel
I
like
find your lack of faith disturbing.
I feel like we're gonna see Tarkin for the final season finale.
We better,
I feel like we
or
will.
I'm going
I
down to
could be wrong.
California and burning something to the ground.
I hope.
As a joke. As a joke.
Yeah. Although I feel like he's sort of like given Admiral Rampart the responsibilities of like the clone stuff, and he's been like, yo,
Tarkin has some planets to blow up.
I'm just gonna go pretend the Death Star was my idea.
Exactly. I'm just gonna go out here and blow up Alderaan for a quick second.
Yeah.
You good here? You guys good here?
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye, peace.
Yeah.
Don't I have some Vader to hunt down?
Right.
Make that comic canon.
It is canon. It is canon.
It is? I
Yeah,
thought it was
is.
considered like Legends.
No, it's a Marvel comic.
Yes.
All the Marvel comics are canon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes me
For
happy
good or for bad, they're canon.
They're canon.
You know.
Something ought to be canon, given Disney's affinity for going, not canon, not canon, not canon, not canon. Hey, you know how Revan's not canon, but like we'll have a statue of him in Rise of Skywalker.
He's canon. Well, yes, but no.
Yes. Like I say, we want to cash in, but we don't want to have our Old Republic stuff running around. It's like, no. You have two options here.
Well,
either make it canon or shut up about it.
It's like they'll sell merchandise of like Legends stuff.
Yeah,
like
then they won't actually make it canon.
Exactly, right? Like they have like the Legends. I know for one thing they have is like the action figures. They have like the gaming greats sort of line of action figures.
Right.
Where they sort of draw from like not just Legends canon as well, but like a lot of like video games, and then they put like the video game characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have
Makes
like
sense.
Cal from Fallen Order, and then you have like Revan from Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that.
Revan.
So it's like
always gets me going.
they obviously recognize the existence of these characters, whether or not they're in canon. They're just like, should we? It's too much work to like implement them. You know,
it's fine. We'll leave
yeah,
it be.
yeah. It's not like Knights of the Old Republic was like an actual, genuinely interesting time period and storyline or anything.
It's not like every fan that's actually like knows his salt about Star Wars hasn't been like begging for Old Republic stuff.
Yeah,
for years now.
Or how long have we been waiting for a KOTOR 3? How long? It's been 17 years, almost. I think. Yeah.
How long have we all waited for Keanu Reeves to become Revan in front of our eyes?
He'd be a really good Revan, I think.
He would.
Honestly.
I saw one post that was like, "Yo, make Tom Cruise Revan." I'm like,
why?
Do you enjoy?
Does Revan do a lot of running? Like, because if so,
first of all, Revan's not 4 feet tall. All right. For the record, Tom Cruise is a short guy, alright? Tiny gentleman.
I don't know. I don't see.
If I've learned anything from Family Guy, it's tiny Tom Cruise.
I don't see him as Revan though.
No,
I feel like
not.
Keanu Reeves is.
No one with half a brain cell does.
Yeah, he's not.
No, just period. No,
and we know that Keanu Reeves has sort of the martial prowess to accompany that, right?
Yeah.
Like in 47 Ronin and especially in John Wick,
yes.
right? The guy can sort of. He can throw it down when he needs to,
exactly.
right? So I think he definitely has some sort of martial arts experience, which we all know. Well, lightsaber is more of a mix of fencing and martial arts, I guess you could say, in the choreography. But like, I feel like Keanu Reeves would really lend himself well to that.
It'd be good. It'd be good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, so I thought I'd ask, since we're about 15 minutes in.
Go ahead.
Is there, and I'm going to direct this question to chat, and if no one answers, I'll move on. Is there any topic you guys would like us to discuss? It can be literally anything Star Wars related.
I had a topic, but
no! Hold on. If you have a topic, let's hear it.
No. If the chat wants it,
I will send it. I will. Stop. Computer, stop. You're freaking out on me right now. But yeah, if you guys have a particular topic you guys want us to talk about, send it in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna have Luca tell me what his plan is.
Forever hold your peace.
Exactly. We'll just wait here.
That's okay. Could I have a little bit more water?
Absolutely, you can have more water. Let me grab the water jug. I will wait a little bit longer and see if he will answer or not. If not, that's cool, because then we'll just go with Luca's topic. Look, what's your topic? How do we destroy Disney? We do have a
My
topic.
patent pending 3-step plan.
3-step plan. 1, grab a beer. 2, dip cloth in beer. 3, light it.
No,
4,
you're
toss it.
thinking much too small.
This is
Step
true.
1, acquire
51%
weapons of mass destruction.
Careful, George Bush might come for your oil.
Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profit.
Exactly. This venture is very profitable. Okay, so we do have a topic being brought up in chat.
Cool.
By Mr. and I apologize so much if I just utterly destroy this name, Mr. Lautaa, Lautaa. I appreciate the topic. And the topic of conversation is: do you think that the new Star Wars movies ruined the saga?
Ooh. Okay.
I think it's time. I think it's time, boys.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Do
you want to go first with this? Because I can fire off right now.
Okay, I'll go first.
Here we go. Hot takes of the... This is where it's going to get interesting.
Okay.
You can do it.
Okay, well, first I want to preface this.
Oh, boy.
By saying, my opinion of Disney's sort of, I guess, acquisition of Star Wars is not, like, completely constant when it comes to all the content they've done. I think that they have genuinely released some very good quality content.
Right.
And I think the reverse is also true.
Yep.
I obviously enjoy things like the Clone Wars show, Bad Batch is nice, the video games,
yep.
Jedi Fallen Order,
Mandalorian.
Battlefront, Mandalorian. I have a few bones to pick with Mandalorian, but I think overall it's been a pretty good show.
Yep.
Yeah. And, if anyone is listening to this and they do enjoy the sequel trilogy, then, obviously more power to you. Like, you are allowed to enjoy whatever you like to enjoy, and if the sequels are something that you like and you think that they fit well with the Star Wars canon, and more importantly with the previous 6-film saga, if you think they're...
Or even your own view of, like, what Star Wars is.
Right, yeah. If you think they're a welcome addition, then that's awesome. That's really cool. In my opinion, though,
And here comes the bump. This is where the other shoe drops.
Yeah, personally, when I look at the Star Wars sequel trilogy and the sort of impact it has on the saga itself, I feel like obviously if you look at it at a surface level, it has like a pretty big impact, but like I feel like the movies themselves are just kind of forgettable in a sense, if that makes any sense. Like, I just don't have I don't feel the same magic in the sequel trilogy as I feel with the prequels and the original trilogy. I feel like it's too disjointed and it's just too hard to appreciate for its value as a trilogy. And I'll let you go in a second. It's just I really dislike them bringing back Palpatine. That's my biggest bone to pick. Obviously,
do you want to start there? Because because that's gonna feed into what
we can definitely start there. It's just like I didn't like The Last Jedi. I didn't like Rise of Skywalker. But the biggest thing for me is bringing back Palpatine. I just don't. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. I think it's lazy. I think it's completely pointless. I think it's just there to bring bring butts into the seats. It's like I do think it undermines what was accomplished in the previous films. Not to say that any sequel trilogy would not have undermined it, because I think there's definitely ways you can expand upon it. I just think that bringing back Palpatine was not the way to go, and I think that they did bring him back and they didn't do it well. Right. If you could ever do it well. I don't know. Right. I may be biased in that sense, but I don't know. Yeah.
That's fair. So I'm going to kind of piggyback and kind of leapfrog off of what Luca just said about the whole Palpatine thing. So my general feelings about the sequel trilogy, really quickly, just to give my take on it, is I legitimately believe that the sequel trilogy brought about real, and I hate using this word because I know that I'm not using it in the right context, but I genuinely believe the sequel trilogy actually brought about a severe harm to the way in which that we actually look at Star Wars and the way that it had an impact on the original trilogy as well as the prequel trilogy. I legitimately believe that the people who organized, ran, and produced this film, when I say produce, I'm not referring to the producers, I'm referring to those behind the scenes who helped work the creative side of the creation of these films, legitimately did not know their ass from their head when it came to how Star Wars should be created. I really do have a lot of animosity towards them. Not to say there aren't some good moments, and there's a lot of things there that could have had a lot of really good potential. I think Kylo Ren is the biggest example of this, and Ben Solo as a character had so much freaking potential to be a fantastic, stunning character, as well as Finn, a stormtrooper who basically quits the ranks to go light side, which is an untapped
Finn is definitely the
money
most
market.
Criminally underused character in the sequels.
Criminally underused.
He had so much potential. And even John Boyega is
as flat out come out and said, like, you people had no idea what the hell you were doing with my character.
Yeah.
You knew what to do with Kylo, you knew what to do with Rey, but you had no freaking idea what to do with me. I was just there.
I blame Ryan Johnson for that one. Sorry.
We'll get to that. Don't worry.
For the whole Finn being relegated to side character, I absolutely blame Ryan Johnson for that.
Yeah. I will say this. For those who are new here, for those of you who are, first of all, to those who have come back, those of you who know me personally, you know that my favorite character of all time in Star Wars is Anakin Skywalker. And I think that they legitimately did irreparable harm to the way that we view that character, just through some of the things that we implemented. Force Heal, for one, although I think there are some good arguments for Force Heal, I think the way that they presented it was a terrible idea. And what Luca was talking about earlier with bringing Palpatine back. If the idea of Return of the Jedi was for Luke to redeem his father, and for not Luke to strike the killing blow against Palpatine, but for Anakin to resurface and toss Palpatine off after being manipulated, corrupted, and emotionally, I'll say it flat out, emotional abuse that man had on Anakin's psyche, I think that the fact that Vader gets redeemed and is the one to actually do the deed of ending Palpatine, and then to bring him back, is such an absolute slap in the face. And not only to the fans, but to, in my opinion, George's work in the original trilogy and the prequels by developing Anakin's character before he turns to the dark side. Yeah, not now, PS4. Leave me be. I'm in the middle of a rant. Yeah, I think that and I'll use Lucas' words here. The criminality when I say criminality, I don't mean like it should be illegal. I'm kidding. The criminality. PS4! Enough! The criminality that was done to Anakin's character and the way that we kind of see and understand how the Force works and how character work is done, like, I think that they did such an issue. You bring Palpatine back, okay? Fair enough. You want to do a Palpatine thing. I disagree, but fine. Let's do his return right. The fact that Anakin's Force Ghost makes no appearance to correct this, it is so unbelievable to me, because the fact you set up Anakin Skywalker as the chosen one. You set him up to bring balance to the Force. His bringing balance to the Force was ending Palpatine's life. And yet here he is. And Anakin is nowhere to be seen. It's just like like you guys can't see, but I'm like getting visibly upset. You have Kylo Ren worshipping essentially this idea of what Vader was and what Anakin was. Anakin is nowhere to be seen. You have Luke questioning his role in the Force and his role in the galaxy. He has questions about the Jedi, and he questions everything they stand for. And Anakin is nowhere to be seen. There's a pattern here I'm trying to drive in, okay? And it's just whew. I don't need like the Finn stuff, the missed potential. To me, I know that me and Luke will probably disagree on this. I have less of a problem with that than I do with the fact that I think that these films did real damage to the way that we see characters from old films. And I'm not just talking about Anakin, I'm talking about Luke. I am talking about Leia, I am talking about Han. They definitely were far more loyal to the way that Leia was portrayed than anyone else, but still, it's myself and Luca both grew up as kids watching Star Wars and making real, I don't want to say relationships, but making real connections with the characters and the stories we saw, and to have such disregard for it in order to make a quick buck is like, it's borderline disgusting, in my opinion. I'm going to toss it back to Luca now, because I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, you're not.
And I feel like I'm getting like, I'm just slamming things for the sake of slamming things, but like, it really bothers me. But yeah, Luca, back to you.
Please go on. I agree. I think, like, the best way I can say it is that there is no part of the sequel trilogy that I would feel bad disregarding in my own separate like headcanon.
Right.
Like, for me, I am entirely happy with just ending the saga after Return of the Jedi.
I agree.
Like, I don't think there's any scene in episodes 7, 8, or 9 that makes me question that decision, or that makes me feel bad, or like, oh well, that was kind of a cool. Like, for me, there's just absolutely nothing there. And if you enjoyed the movies, then absolutely more power to you. That's really cool. But for me, I don't own the movies physically on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, and I don't plan to. I'm just really not interested in that time period. And it sucks because when I was a kid, or even still now, and reading the EU stuff, I always liked the post-Return of the Jedi period because I thought they had a lot of cool stuff. And were there fumbles? Absolutely there were. It was not perfect.
Dark Empire was
I agree. I did. Everyone says, oh, well, they brought back Palpatine in the EU. Yeah, they did. And I thought it was a garbage idea. And a lot of people did too.
I'm pretty sure it was like the least enjoyed or least... Well, had the most like negative feedback.
Not only that, not even the fan perception. You have Timothy Zahn, the guy who wrote the Thrawn trilogy.
Yes,
he wrote the Thrawn trilogy before, but Dark Empire was like the next major, I guess, release, because it was like Thrawn trilogy was like 90, 91. Dark Empire was like 92.
Which, by the way, just for the record, if you guys don't know what we're talking about like the novels that came out that took place after Return of the Jedi. If you haven't read them, go read them. They're fantastic books. I haven't read all of them personally. I'm actually just dipping my toe into the New Republic stuff now, but what I've read so far is fantastic. Like, go get your hands on it. You can probably find like some like cheap places to buy them or whatever.
Yeah,
anyways, sorry, go ahead.
No.
Go read the song. It's really good. Bane trilogy. Read it. It's so good.
Wise advice. But yeah, like, you have Timothy Zahn after writing the Thrawn trilogy, and then he wrote other books like Survivor's Quest and Spectre of the Past, blah blah blah. Who straight up said, I don't want to acknowledge Dark Empire. He straight up said it, and he didn't acknowledge it in any of his works. And it's actually funny, in one of the books he wrote after the Thrawn trilogy, basically Luke and Mara Jade have a connection. I won't spoil anything, but they have a connection.
Yep.
And they're talking about the part where Palpatine comes back, and Mara Jade gives an offhand remark, and she says, I still don't believe that was really him. And that's I fervently believe that is Timothy Zahn's self-insert of him saying that he doesn't approve of.
Yep.
Obviously, this is just one writer's opinion, and that's totally fine. The expanded universe is obviously a multitude of writers, and they each have their own way of going, and there's going to be overlap. There's also going to be contradictions. That's totally fine. It's just, this is a really long-winded tangent, side tangent. I'm really sorry. But yeah, the old EU had stuff in this time period that I thought was genuinely interesting, and genuinely interesting ways that they expand off the Return of the Jedi. It wasn't perfect, and even then you could sort of disregard it and just end with the films, and I think that's what George originally always intended.
Yep.
But for me, it just provides no value. And I feel like that the problems I have with the sequel trilogy are mostly to do with the latter two films, but I think that
Force Awakens genuinely wasn't bad.
Well, here's my hot take. I think Force Awakens gets too much of a pass than it really should. I think that Force Awakens is like it's basically like damaging the foundation of the building,
right?
And then the final two films are letting that flood sweep in and just completely, or that earthquake sweep in and topple
and
everything
destroying
else. I think that the Force Awakens, in an effort to two things, in an effort to recapture the, I guess you could say, ill will, or not recapture, sorry, recapture goodwill from the fans, or some fans who did not like the prequel trilogies.
Yeah.
I assume more sort of like older fans.
Yeah.
And to do this by, like, quote unquote, bringing back the Star Wars you love, quote unquote, and like having a lot of stuff that's felt familiar, if not too familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And then second of all, by trying to distance themselves as far away from George's prequel work as possible, I feel like that both of these things actively hurt the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And you know, because a lot of the problems that we talk about with like you know, the big three, Luke, Leia, and Han, their characters don't really change. A lot of that stuff happens in Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
We see this one really pisses me off.
You boys, you're about to hear the rant, the Luke rant.
The resistance in the sequel trilogy and the New Republic, for that matter, is entirely insipidly stupid. It is a complete and utter dumpster fire of a political faction. It's like, you know, I understand that they want to be more peaceful than the Empire. I understand that entirely. But why would you demilitarize your entire
entire system?
Name me one country in this world. One country in this world that does not have a judicial system that's backed by some sort of like policing system, right?
No.
Or just name me one country in this world that doesn't have a standing army.
Name one. Yeah. Name one.
Even if they're not involved in an active conflict right now, which country does not have a standing army? Like, just because you don't need
just because of the fact you don't want to become the Empire, being an authoritarian, violent regime that basically executes people for like treason or whatever, doesn't mean that a new republic would not have the right to have a standing military in case, I don't know, some remnant of the Empire showed up and tried to like take back what they wanted. Take back their, I guess you could say, their glorious purpose or whatever.
It's completely idiotic, and it calls into question why even have the New Republic in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you could just have planets be
why
by
not
themselves.
Just have the independent system?
Exactly.
Just go full trade federation at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even with the Republic, they didn't have a standing military, but like, I feel like even then with the Senate, it was more.
Well, because their standing military was the Jedi.
Yeah.
They would basically bring the Jedi out and go, all right, go deal with this or whatever.
Yeah, we'll not deal with it in like. And usually not in a violent sense, more
sure. But and even when they did need a standing army, they had the clones.
Yeah,
so yeah.
But I hate it. I hate that it just devolves the conflict back into the rebel versus Empire thing. Like, you know, in that movie, they destroy the entirety of the Hosnian Prime system. That's like 7 planets gone, just like that. And then you're just left with that splinter faction of the Resistance versus that all-impending mighty Empire. Right. Gee, where have we seen this before? The OT, right?
Yeah.
You know,
the gold standard.
Yeah, you have like that, the Rey being sort of the character on the desert planet. You know,
that doesn't know who her parents are, is taken in by a older character and is kind of shown the way of things. That older character dies at the end of the first. It's New Hope.
Yeah, you know, she comes into some sort of
something bigger than herself.
Exactly, something bigger than herself.
She becomes
intricately involved in the plot,
the hero's journey.
You know? And like, that's fine and all. It's just, it feels like it's devolved. I don't mind the Rey stuff. It's just the Resistance for me. It feels like it's devolved. Just they've made no progress whatsoever. They've devolved back into what they were in the OT, and that's it, right? Yeah. Like, cool, you know. Yeah, we got X-wings, we got TIE fighters. There's no technological progress on that front either. Like, yeah, they are new X-wings and they are new TIE fighters, but like, they look the same. At least with George in the prequels, he had his ships have like a visual continuity line when they aren't the same. Like we know the V-wings having the vertical wings are prototypes for the TIE fighter wings, right?
Yeah.
We can see the clone trooper armor is a prototype for the stormtrooper armor,
Yep.
stuff like that. We see that the Republic Venator ships become
the Imperial Star Destroyers.
Yeah, and it's really easy to see how they would do it while not being exact carbon copies, minus a few greeblies here or there.
Yeah,
and
but it's to show the evolution of Republic into Empire, and the fact that all of these expertly laid plans by the Sith have been something that has been going on this entire
right.
time.
Yeah, and with the sequel trilogy, it's like, yeah, we got the T-70 X-wing now. Woo. We got the First Order TIE Fighter. Woo. I mean, I guess the First Order Star Destroyer is new.
Kylo's ship is kind of cool.
Yeah, those look kind of cool. I don't know. It just, yeah, and then I don't know. Yeah, I feel like The Force Awakens really set the tone for the rest of it.
Yeah.
And with The Last Jedi not having J.J. Abrams come back, I feel like was a big mistake.
Yeah, you can't have two directors like different visions.
Say what you will about Rian Johnson and his work on The Last Jedi and his work on other films, but you know, whether or not you enjoy the work he did on The Last Jedi, I think it's obvious that it is not a direct continuation of The Force Awakens, and in a trilogy you need to have continuity between the films.
Yes,
otherwise just make 3 separate movies.
I agree. Now many people have said, well, hold on, the original trilogy had different directors as well. Here's the difference though, before people kind of jump down my throat or whatever, which I don't think you guys will, but I'm just saying. Yes, we had different directors, especially for Empire Strikes Back, which, by the way, is heralded as arguably one of the best Star Wars films ever. However, that's beside the point.
Return of the Jedi is better.
Wrong. The vision for what Star Wars in the OT was meant to be never changed, regardless of directors changing hands. With the sequels, it did. And that was the problem. It wasn't the fact that we have, there's different directors. It's the fact that the vision for what the trilogy is going to be is being changed right in the middle of the trilogy. And that's a problem. Okay? Right. Because you can't have a linear set of events that don't rationally follow each other. And that's the problem. There was a comment that was left in the chat a little while ago, so we've been going on a rant a little bit, which is fine, it's all good, saying, quote, I think we actually need more info about the main characters, like the life of Obi-Wan or the actual creator of Anakin. If you don't mind, can I jump on this one first, and then I'll go from there?
Sure.
If you haven't read Plagueis, the novel Plagueis, fantastic book. Definitely some of the best Star Wars content I've personally ingested. Bane might edge it out just barely, but it's
both really good.
It's a really good book, and they do, kind of in a roundabout way address the actual creator of Anakin.
It's implied, but it's never.
Yeah, there's a really good passage. Actually, 2 really good passages in the Plagueis book. If I had it on me right now, I would read straight from it. Although Twitch probably give me like a trademark thing for that, but oh well, copyright thing, but oh well. There's 2 really good passages. One, Plagueis actually has a nightmare or a vision of what Anakin is going to turn into, and Plagueis is terrified of him, of seeing him as a kid and as a young adult and seeing him in Revenge. And there's one part of the vision where he actually sees Vader in the first time that we see him in Revenge of the Sith, in the cyborg black uniform that we all know and love, rising from the table. And Plagueis literally says that he literally is terrified of this thing. He said, I believe the exact wording is, this is the embodiment of hatred. And I'm like, it's such a good passage. There's the other passage that they kind of talk about, like Plagueis and Palpatine screwing around with the midichlorians, and like doing like a lot of like biological, non-experimentation.
Manipulation.
Yeah, manipulation of the Force. And there's kind of like a yes, they are, but no, they aren't kind of thing. There's a lot of different interpretations. There's one that says yes, Palpatine or Plagueis, with Palpatine's help, created Anakin. There is another one that they made Plagueis and Palpatine screwed around. By the way, Spoilers for the record. It's in the title of the stream. All right, so everyone calm down. All right. There's one where basically the Force acts as its own sentient being and like basically kicks Plagueis and Palpatine in the teeth. They think they're creating the ultimate Sith weapon when really they're bringing about the very thing that will destroy the Sith. Oh yeah, a good movie about it would be cool. I agree. You made Plagueis into a film, young Palpatine. Oh, I'm titillated.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting
on
film.
the life of young Palpatine. I agree. You'd actually see him be like a senator from Naboo. That would be so dope. Anyways, be really good. I agree. I also wanted to address the hold on. Where is it? The life of Obi-Wan. So me and Luca actually changed my mind on this.
Oh, I did
a while back.
That's progress.
On one thing. Let's not jump to conclusions. All right. There's one. The life of young Obi-Wan would be kind of cool to see. Mm-hmm. Like his starting with his training with Qui-Gon. I feel like we never quite got enough of Qui-Gon. Yeah. And he ends up being especially in the novels, he ends up being such a pivotal thing. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know that we do have a Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming up.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So, I actually, in the beginning, was on board and in favor of this show coming out. However, Luca actually changed my mind. Luca is very anti the Obi-Wan Kenobi show in what it is coming out. The way that it's being not handled, but just like the context of what's going to happen in this show. I was initially on board. But yeah, actually, I will let Luca explain his position on it because I don't want to like straw man or anything like that.
No, it's just okay. Well, so for some context, Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite Star Wars character of all time.
Hello there.
Like out of all the characters, Obi-Wan is my favorite. I sewed my own, well, with my mother's help. I sewed my own costume for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have 3D printed lightsabers of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
So like. he's kind of a favorite of mine, you know. He's kind of, and obviously I love Ewan McGregor. I love his work, even outside of Star Wars.
He's so good.
Yeah, love his work. I think he's an amazing actor, and I'm really happy that he's returning to the Star Wars universe in the role of Obi-Wan.
The return of the king.
Yeah, essentially.
And hated coming back for it, so like, let's go.
Like, I love that. Don't get me wrong, I love that. It's just, I am so terrified for the Kenobi show, because the things I've been hearing that are being sort of touted, and that I feel like a lot of fans are like on board with, are basically making me look like Plagueis in that vision, right? Like,
I'm waking up in sweats.
Yeah, they're talking about him facing Vader. They're talking about justification for that one line of "When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master."
Am the master.
They're talking about him like facing off stormtroopers, traveling to other
Inquisitors
traveling to other planets. Like, I don't want any of this. I think that Obi-Wan's self-seclusion on Tatooine is so much more poetic if nothing goes down. If it's just him and his thoughts for 19 years watching over Luke. You know, I think that as a character, Obi-Wan is someone who has like followed the Jedi doctrine to a T for his whole life, right? From basically from when he can remember as a Jedi youngling, he's been the astute follower of the Jedi path, right? And throughout his life, more than most Jedi, I think he's been in situations that have come into conflict with the Jedi path, and more often than not, he's
literally anything to do with Anakin.
Right? Yeah, more often than not, he's chosen to toe the Jedi line, you could say, but he does feel the conflict within him, right? Obviously with Anakin and his more maverick lifestyle,
period.
You know, with Satine, obviously
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, Qui-Gon is really an interesting sort of, you know, character, because I feel like Qui-Gon fostered a lot of sort of, I guess you could say, doubt within Obi-Wan. It's just Obi-Wan's never really sort of acted on it fully. He always had faith in the council, and he was more interested because, you know, Qui-Gon's basically hoisted Anakin onto Obi-Wan as like, yeah, you gotta train him.
Picked up another useless life form.
Yeah, you know, like this guy's gonna be.
He's gonna bite those words in a couple of years.
You gotta train him. So like that feels like that's Obi-Wan's main kind of thing, and in the events of Revenge of the Sith, it all comes crashing down around him. Like Obi-Wan's life as we know it is altered dramatically. He's lost the Jedi. He's had to basically seriously injure his best friend, who he thinks right now is dead.
Yeah.
You know, he has no one else, and he has to watch over basically the son of Padme, who's passed away in childbirth,
Yeah.
and knowing that this is his last chance at redemption. And, well, not even redemption, but I think that him just seeking sort of like penance on Tatooine and just meditating and maybe even talking with Qui-Gon throughout the whole thing is thematically so much more powerful than him traveling the galaxy, fighting Inquisitors, seeing Vader again. Like, you know, I think Obi-Wan needs to reflect on what has happened, you know, and he needs to, like, just look inside deeply into himself and kind of,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, analyze.
Yeah. Imagine
Analyze
if we
his
literally just had, like, a Kenobi series where it's literally just him having, like, visions and nightmares and penance and all that.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want that show either, because I admit that would be boring. But I think that's what...
See, I disagree. I actually don't think it would be boring. I think you can make a Obi-Wan Kenobi miniseries, have it be 3 episodes.
Right.
3 or 4 episodes, right? First episode is him coming to accept what has happened in the past, understanding his role. Second episode is perhaps Qui-Gon reaches out through the Force, and the third episode is I don't know. You actually see him caring for Luke.
Yeah.
You actually see him like doing the watchful guardian kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you do those 3. First episode is him being traumatized. Second one is coming to acceptance of what has happened with Qui-Gon's assistance. And the third episode is you could literally just do a thing where it's like, hey, like, I'm just going to kind of chill here with Luke or whatever.
Yeah, we've had comics like that where Luke kind of gets involved or whatever. Or we've had the Kenobi novel in Legends too.
Yeah.
Where he sort of gets involved with Sand People, the Tusken Raiders, and like a small village that he's helping defend, where he's like, I really shouldn't be doing this, but I kind of like them, so I'll help them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of like a Ronin samurai-esque kind of story where he's like helping the local village.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really scared, and I don't want Obi-Wan to leave Tatooine. I don't want Obi-Wan to see Vader at all. I don't want Obi-Wan to face any Inquisitors. If he's gonna run into Stormtroopers, I want it to be like only on Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And I want them to not recognize him due to his, Force mind trick.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Would you be, just for the record, you think that do you think that it would be acceptable for Obi-Wan to fight Vader in some sort of Force vision or nightmare? Like, say the opening...
Sure. I know a lot of fans want that, and sure, as long as it's made clearly, it's clearly stated or, like, shown that
this is a nightmare.
That it's a nightmare.
Like, if the opening scene of an episode or whatever was the minute the episode starts, it's Vader and Obi-Wan locked in a fight immediately, and then, like, he wakes up in a sweat or whatever.
Yeah, sure. That's okay. As long as they don't actually meet...
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree with
I don't. I don't see the need for the show as it is.
Yeah.
As interesting as I think these sort of ideas could be, I don't really see the need for it. But I guess they're going with it, so I can't really say anything about it.
Right.
Or I can, but like I don't have much say on it. I just feel like the man's been through so much. Give him some time to reflect, right?
Yeah.
And we know that at the end of Revenge of the Sith, they sort of. Yoda says that he's been talking to one of Obi-Wan's old friends, and that turns out to be Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And Yoda straight up says, Qui-Gon will teach you how to maintain your identity after becoming one with the Force,
After
right?
death.
Yeah, and we know it works because Obi-Wan basically becomes the first Force ghost, right?
Yeah.
He's like on the Death Star. He becomes
first
one with...
Force ghost that the Jedi Council in its modern incarnation know about.
Right, yeah. Well, Qui-Gon is more of a voice. He's kind of Force ghost. He doesn't have physical embodiment.
No, but like he can speak to the Force.
Yeah. Qui-Gon
you
can
can
speak
hear
through the
his
Force.
voice.
He just doesn't have a
The
body.
Clone Wars movie showed that a little bit, where Anakin's on. I hear what planet it is. I think it's Tatooine. Maybe it's not. But yeah, there's a whole thing there.
Yeah. So Qui-Gon, he almost made it, kind of, but he's not fully there.
Yeah.
So then obviously he teaches Obi-Wan how to
Yeah.
do it, and he teaches
And
Yoda how to
Yoda,
do
yeah.
it at the same time.
And
so like,
inevitably Luke as well.
yeah.
it seems.
So that, I just want Obi-Wan to be doing that really, and watching over Luke. I don't need any high flying action, any explosions, nothing like that. I really don't want to see that.
There's explosions, but turn it off.
I know invariably I'm gonna be disappointed, but I don't know. I think if they want to do the character justice, in my opinion, they don't need all this stuff, right? Even like Maul in Rebels, in my opinion, Maul in Rebels seeing Obi-Wan was kind of pushing it, but I am glad that the duel they had was a very short one.
Yeah.
Because it's more about the characters and tying up Maul's
I mean, the
arc.
movements are literally Maul versus Kenobi, or Maul versus Qui-Gon, technically, from Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The same moves.
Yeah, Obi-Wan lures Maul into a false sense of...
Yeah.
I guess a false sense of thinking he's won, and then he switches his style last minute and just...
Go check out Sam Witwer's take on this, because Sam Witwer, for the record, is the voice of Maul in the... in Rebels and Clone Wars. He actually lays out the case for literally breaks down move by move by move. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've talked a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Obi-Wan is just really important character to me, and as much as I love Ewan McGregor and love Hayden and want to see them come back to Star Wars, I wish it would have been for a live action Clone Wars project. I think that one would have been so much more feasible and so much more interesting than a Kenobi show that's taking place after Order 66. Because after Order 66, I just wanted to lie low, basically. But if we had a Clone Wars show with Hayden and Ewan, I feel like they could definitely de-age them with makeup or whatever.
Oh yeah,
they don't look so bad. Hayden looks really good actually. I've seen
Hayden
pictures of him
still looks
recently.
young enough that it's good or whatever.
Yeah.
But
they
Ewan
have
is definitely he's aged.
Yeah, but they have so much freedom.
Aged beautifully,
right?
Aged, like a fine wine.
I don't know. I feel like they just have so much freedom in a show like that. That it would just be more interesting to me, have them fight battle droids, whatever, go to planets, the whole Outer Rim sieges, right? We have 6 months of the Outer Rim sieges before
that we've never seen before.
They return to Coruscant to rescue
Palpatine.
Show us that. That's cool, right? We have Obi-Wan says that time on Cato Nemoidia doesn't count, right?
Show us this!
We had an explanation for that in Legends, but as far as I'm concerned, I could be wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, we don't have a canon explanation
Not yet. No.
Show us that.
I want to wrap up one-liners? There's your line to wrap up.
Exactly. I want to see Anakin save Obi-Wan for, the nth time,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's my take on the whole Kenobi show. Very, 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 very cautiously optimistic. Very cautiously optimistic. I don't think it's necessary, but
that's okay.
But here we are.
I'm with you. We're actually gonna wrap this up. We are approaching the hour and a half mark.
Okay.
I would love to keep talking. It is currently 12:16. I unfortunately do have to work tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. I have to get up at 9 or 10, so I gotta go. I gotta sleep eventually.
We can
Luca,
continue this next time.
Thank you we can definitely continue this conversation next time. Luca, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And thank you so much to those of you who are participating in the chat.
Yes,
really
thank you so much, guys. It really makes it fun for us because we could literally I'm telling you, if sleep wasn't necessary and it wasn't necessary, we would go for hours. We would go for 5-6 hours, whatever. And we've done it before. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. We are gonna be wrapping this up. If you enjoyed this stream, please hit that follow button on Twitch. We also have a YouTube page by the same name, Imperial's Force. Go check that out. All the streams are going to be uploaded there, usually within a day or two after the stream. We usually do these streams every 2 weeks, either on usually on a Friday night, sometimes Saturday, but usually they've been every 2 Fridays. I also do stream Battlefront 2, Warframe, Destiny 2, all that good stuff. I usually try to do that every other day. I do work, so sometimes whenever I get a chance to, I do that. But yeah, like I said, if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube page, go do that. Follow us on Twitch. You guys will be getting all notifications and all that good stuff whenever we go live. All right. On that note, we are going to hop off of here. Luca, any final words?
Thank you very much for listening, and may the Force be with you.
And that'll be it, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.